till we get that good old notification to let me know that we are live. Grace and peace to you from our Father and Jesus Christ. Welcome to Saved by Faith, where we don't pay to pray. The message for today is you have been verified by Christ, and God approves the renewed you. The scripture reference for today's message is coming from Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and it reads, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is." So you will be able to pass the test by the renewing of your mind, because now you have done enough, you have had enough life experience to know what to do, what to use in order to guide you to what it is that you need to do, okay? To solve life's problems, okay? Any problems that you may be going on in your life. But I don't know. So I was picking up phone, and then like, so Romans, like, that was like sticking out to me. And I know that the artist Nicki Minaj, she has an alter ego named Roman, right? And when she was, I seen this video when she was, I think she's at the music video, VMA, Video Music Awards. And she was wearing her pink outfit. Well, she loves pink, of course, but she was wearing, I got on pink right now. But she was wearing on like it almost looked like a wedding with the veil, right? And it was pink. I love that outfit. But her alter ego name is Roman. And she's like, well, I know how to control myself, but I don't know about Roman, right? And Roman is basically in the Bible, right? The truth. Okay. So, so Nikki popped up, Nick, okay, Kai, Key, KC, CK, something like that. And I keep seeing the number 911. The artist Lauryn Hill, and theater arts, or just theater, or the arts could be significant to you. But whoever I'm speaking to, your life has went from sunset to sunrise, okay? You went from the dark nights to the sleepless. You went from the dark nights, from the sleepless nights to better rest, and enlightenment. Okay. Shout out to all the prayer warriors, tapping in with Christ. Don't forget to share the love by clicking the thumbs up. And just to let y'all know, I have a holy treat at the end of this video. So now back to what I was saying. Your life went from sunset to sunrise. So you are, whoever I'm speaking to, you are someone who has survived a life most people wouldn't or couldn't even make it out alive. All right. And the scripture reference that I received from God in regards to that message is from 1 Peter chapter 5, 8 through 11. And I want to read verse 6 first. Y'all, I did something bad. Y'all know I'm major pain. So some of you guys could be going through some major pain, okay? Or you went through some major pain. Like I said, you went from sunset to sunrise, like dark, depressive times, and now you're happy. Now you have a reason to wake up in the morning. Now you're more motivated, okay? You're getting that motor running. Yeah, I don't know. I always hear that. Get out on the highway, okay? You driving. Okay, everybody's talking about door dashing, but now they paying hourly. Watch how many people be on there trying to block the originals from getting that cash, okay? Getting that dash, okay? But yeah, getting that blood flowing, exercising, like you just have more motivation lately. So, but like, I want to read from verse 6 first, okay? Or maybe major pain in a sense of actual physical pain, okay? Aches and pains and arthritis. Like my hands was hurting real bad earlier, and it was crazy though. But someone has really healing hands, or you're meant to like be a healer in the masseuse arena. Okay. So verse 6 from First Peter chapter 5. Humble yourself, therefore, under God's mighty hand. It's crazy. I was just talking about hands, right? That he may lift you in due time. So God said, be humble, slow down. All right. We understand that you see other people receiving their blessings, but what God is working on for you takes longer. Okay. So just see it as that, and just understand that God is not ignoring you. In due time, cast out all your anxiety onto him, because God says, I care and I hear all of your prayers. And verse 8 says, be alert and of sober mind. So you know that little voice, that little devil on the side of your shoulder that's telling you, take a little puff puff, it's okay. Drink a little, indulge, have a little premarital sex. Keep on eating the Twinkies, okay? Go ahead and pop open another bag of chips. It'll only be on one side of your hip, okay? But you know what I'm saying? Like, and it says your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. That's that little, the enemy is this little devil on the side of your, on the side of your shoulder, telling you to indulge in the things that you have already, that God has already renewed from you, okay? Taken from you, delivered you from, right? Because I don't know about y'all, but every time you fall into your desires, every time you take a little puff after you just said you done with that stuff, you start feeling, defeated, you start feeling sad, you start feeling weak, you start feeling like, dang, now you feel like you got to start all over again. When you just had a great track record, now you gotta, I keep seeing 7-Eleven too. So y'all read Ephesians 1:17. It's a message in there for you. But yeah, y'all know what I mean, because you have to stay of sober mind, because then you start feeling all good, you start getting tipsy, and then somebody hitting you up talking about some, hey, big head. Oh, they not talking about the head on your shoulders, okay? For the fellas that's watching, okay? She ain't talking about that. She's talking about harlotry, okay? She's talking about dirty Diana, Delilah, okay? Okay, old Susanna. All right, so that could have been the past you, okay? So yeah, verse 9, resist him standing firm. So God said, resist. Stand firm in your faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of suffering. So our sisters and brothers in Christ are going through the same temptations. And if they can do it, I can do it. Y'all know in that movie How High, when he was like, if you can do it, I can do it, sucker. And it's so true. And you just have to put the work and the effort into it, okay? You could do it, put your back into it, or you could do it, put your faith into it, or something like that. Maybe I might do a cover, you know how I do. You may look at me and think that I'm just a young Christian, but I'm not. Just I don't know, y'all. It's gonna be Christian bop for kids. Like, I can't believe they really did WAP for Kids Bop. Like, why do your kids need to hear a kid's version of an adult song, of adult music? Like, this is why. Like, all they have to hear is the beat. They're not even going to think of the clean version, because they already know the dirty version, because they put sounds on children's cartoons. I've seen it on TikToks. Like, how does my kid know that? Because they can put any artist's music on top of any cartoon, and kids just gravitate to it. So that's why it's important just to explain things to your kids. Don't hide things from your kids, because your neighbor's kids gonna show them. You know what I'm saying? And then now your kids know something they hiding it from you. They don't know, that they're not supposed to know, or they don't know anything like in detail of it, because you're just like, oh, well, that's not for kids. but why? Explain to them what goes on. Show them the bumps. Scar them for life, okay? Before they have the little sex education class all the way in high school. Show them sooner than later, okay? And they'll be like, ugh. They'll be like, do you know the Muffin Man? Who lives on Drury Lane? But anyways, hi y'all. Here I go rambling. Verse 10, and the God of all grace who called you to his eternal glory in Christ after you have suffered a little while will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. So this is why you have been renewed, how you have been renewed. Okay. So if they want to know, all right, this is the seed that you are reaping. Okay. This is the fruit that you have sown. All right. In your rise. Okay, son. Okay, daughter. All right. Um, so yeah, people, they don't really recognize, or they don't take the time to recognize your past struggles, because they're only looking on the outside, the outer shell of, maybe how well you are kept, how well you keep yourself, your independence, or you may have like an immaculate vocabulary and people judge you by what they see or what they hear. A lot of people in your life, they prejudged you. And now that God has saved your soul, they want to Trolstice like solstice. They want to Trolstice like solstice. But you already know what that stems from. That stems from anger. Okay, if you actually watch the movie Trolls, the trolls really don't want to be angry. It's just that was their tradition, to be angry, to be envious, to be thieves, to feed on other people's energy, to feed on people's flesh, to not believe in love, to just be gray, you know? And all it took was a little light in their life, and that's who you are. You are the light in people's life, you know? And now people want to harvest from the crops they tried to stop. Okay, that's that trollstice. They want to harvest from the crops. Can y'all believe that? Where they do that at? They tried to stop your crops and they want to harvest from it. God said you are, or you will be, the turning factor in a lot of people's lives. Okay, for example, before you came around, they were comfortable sleeping all day. They were content working basic jobs, not pursuing higher education. They could have saw entrepreneurship as selling tail, okay, selling drugs, or being a scammer. Okay, none of that is natural. Okay, in the law or in the spiritual. Okay, and if you've come from that background and you've made peace with the old version of you because God has renewed your mind and your spirit, you won't find this message offensive. Okay, and that shows you've healed from your past and you can now look back and laugh because you're just like, where was I at? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like you was an empty vessel, like just like a zombie. Okay, that's why God gave you your spirit back. God, that's Lord. Those, if you chose, okay? If you chose, all right? You are verified by Christ. Y'all comment and claim this message. If you are verified by Christ, in the comments below, let God know that you approve of his approval. Okay? So God gave me this movie reference from the movie Robots. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but it's like an animated movie. I can't remember all the characters' names, but basically there was a young robot and he had a calling, just like you have a calling. He came from humble beginnings. He had to wear hand-me-downs from his family members. He even had to wear a skirt one time for one of his high school pictures, or like, I don't know, I can't remember the movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know if it was like a bottom or a top, but it was a feminine one. He had a yearbook picture, so you could have some rough yearbook pictures. but you know what I'm saying? You filled out, you look good. People from high school or from middle school or from college, they probably looking at you like, dang, like you look totally different. Like, oh, this reminded me of that movie Life when he was like, Lil May Rose grow up and out. You know what I'm saying? So you sprouting, you looking beautiful like a rose from the concrete. Like you were looking like concrete, or you know what I'm saying? Some people have to grow into their features. You know, as a child, I feel like you ain't supposed to be looking all like that. That keeps the freaks away. You know what I'm saying? So freaks come out at night. So you guys go inside, get your fast tail inside. You don't need to be at these bars with these low budget men. Okay. Now I'm not saying that it's not an exception. That you might, y'all, I did something bad. I never told y'all what I did. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I ate, but I have broken out in hives, y'all. And I thought it was the soap. I thought, because I had started using this bar of soap, and I thought it was that, but it wasn't. So then I started putting like aloe vera. It's a side note. I started putting like aloe vera on my face, and it started helping the itching. But I never had hives before. I never broke out before. So then I found out. Then I bought me some other facial wash, and I was like, just washing my face, and it started looking a little bit better, but it's still there. So I was like, why is it not going away? And so, yeah, because I love my face, okay. And then when I found out it was hives, I was like, dang. So it don't matter how much I wash my face. Like if it's like I have allergies. I really have bad allergies anyway, but I've never been allergic to anything. So it caught me off guard. So now I have to just go get Benadryl, and that's what's going to help it go away. I was like, so it really doesn't matter how much I wash my face. I'm like, so you know what I'm saying? I'll be back to my regular stuff. I just don't like it. But anyways, like I was saying, he came from humble beginnings, and his dad was a dishwasher. So he felt like his son was going to be a dishwasher too. Like, I'm a dishwasher, so you're going to be a dishwasher. He thought that his son's dreams to go to the city and be a big time, a high profile inventor, or you may be a high profile designer, a high profile artist, sculptor, architect, doctor, whatever you want to be, hustler. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood. Okay, is what I see. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand, like, none of us have ever done it. So why do you feel like you can just up and leave and go to the city and travel across the world and go on vacations and do other things that we've never got to experience or do, or we've been afraid to do. You know what I'm saying? So he had to get over and just say, look, I'm going. His mom was in support, but his dad really wasn't. And so he actually went to the city to be an inventor. And so you could have had to leave your hometown to really grow in what it is that you're trying to create for yourself. And or this is why you're moving to different places, so that way you can network and have different life experiences in regards to the field you are going into when it comes to your career. And so basically, long story short, he was actually being of service to robots who can't afford shiny parts, because the guy that he looked up to, he kind of lost his passion. He kind of left his business to like a corrupt man and his mother, who created these shiny parts that were so expensive. It was like Teslas. Okay. It's like he created Teslas for parts, and he was getting rid of all the old parts, all the good Honda, Toyota parts. Okay, so you could be a mechanic or something like that, or just good with fixing cars or something like that. He was getting like doing something with your hands. And this is actually in a I must have oh yeah. So, I'm gonna go to Ephesians real quick too. But you could be good with your hands. God is telling you to do something with your hands. Use your hands. Okay. But yeah, basically, so he lost his passion, and when he went to go look for the owner, someone was already taking his place. So basically, he was getting rid of all the other parts. So robots were going around town. They didn't really have a limb to walk on. So he was fixing them. And when the corrupt guy found out that he was out there saving people, he decided to attack him or try to get rid of him. And hence the warfare, the spiritual warfare, the attacks, the monitoring spirits, okay, the what do they call it? Scrying or what they be doing, and spying, you know what I'm saying? Hacking, slacking, okay? So um and so when he found that he was trying to get rid of him, whoever was doing that and things of that nature, so they had to like get on in the inside. They had to disguise themselves and things of that nature. Y'all gotta have to watch the movie because it does have a great message. So basically, um, he got he made the man who was the original owner realize his purpose and what he was really doing for people, because the original owner, he isolated himself. You could have isolated yourself, locked yourself inside, just doing hobbies, because I mean he was rich, so it wasn't like he needed to really be doing anything other than what he wanted to do. He got so good at stacking dominoes, he created a whole surf tsunami on them, you know what I'm saying? But so he went there, he realized what the corruption and things of that nature that was going on. He took his business back over. The bad guys always lose, and the robots, and he basically he lived his dream. You know what I'm saying? He got to fix people. He became real cool with his community, being of service to his community. He helped people just because he wanted to, you know. And there's a lot of people out here, you know, who feel like they are above others or highly, like, you know, even the scripture says don't think of yourself more highly as others. And sometimes we could be a little conceited, you know, at times when it comes to, you know, like how we look and things of that nature, because we were bullied in the past, so we're like you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we always check ourselves in that, but there are a lot of men out here who like, oh, I'm chosen because I don't need no notes. I can just do it off the top of my head. That don't mean you chosen. There's people who scam off the top of their head too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of men, you know, they coach women because they know that they can't coach men. If you were chosen, coach men, get the men to change. Okay. The reason why women are changing, and we're finding real men, okay, or we're just finding ourselves and not really worrying about men, because we know that all we need is God. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of women, we're happy dying alone. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that we're not alone. We don't need a man to define um, our connections with the divine. Okay. Me and the divine are just fine. If it's just me and the divine, I'm fine. Okay. And sometimes that blows a lot of men's mind. Okay. Like I said in my last video, they admire your faith, but they envy your favor. You know, you can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Either you admire me or you don't. Either you're my friend or you're my foe. Okay? So distracted people distract people. If they can't contribute, that's an issue. I seen someone say this on the YouTube short. She said, distracted people distract people. So that's why God said, if you ain't got something to do or something to contribute, that is going to be the major issue. Okay. That could have been the major issue in your life or in your connections. Ephesians 4:22-24, you were taught with regards to your former ways of life to put off your old self. Okay, so this is what I was speaking of in this message, putting off your old self, who you were in the past. Okay, and people need to grasp that. Okay, you are not who you were in the past. Put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires. Okay, that little mini me. Okay, that little past you. Okay, your subconscious desires. Okay, they're deceitful and they're corrupted. All right, to be made new in the attitude of your minds. Okay, so this is what is being renewed. That's why God said, I approve the renewed you, the renewed mindset, the mind frame. Okay, and to put on the new self. Okay, so you took off your old self. Okay, so you bought you a new fit. Okay, so God said, take your old self off, old clothes, get rid of that old stuff, that old soul. Okay, that old baggage, and put on this new self, this new you, this new fit. Okay, that's verified by Christ, created to be like God. Okay, in true righteousness and holiness. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor. Okay, stop lying to your friends. Okay, if you really care about them, for we are all members of one body. Okay, we are one with the body. Okay, just because we're angry doesn't mean we have to sin. We don't have to be doing that get back error. Okay, that a lot of artists are out here spreading. Okay, I got to get my get back. That didn't even, like, you're still going to be hurt. You most likely you're going to get back with the guy. You know what I'm saying? So why even do all that? How about get back to healing? Okay? Healing yourself. Let him do what he wants to do and you just move on with your life. That's the greatest get back that you can do. Okay? Is elevate. Okay? That's some get back for him. Okay? Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold, a reason, okay? A reason to just to, you know what I'm saying? That's why God said, be of sober mind, okay? Don't give the devil a reason to come like, hey, oh, this what you doing? Let's play. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, when I was talking about scammers and all this type of stuff, God is saying you must work and do something useful with your own hands instead of stealing from women and children. Okay, and doing things outside of your own uh abilities. Okay, put in that word that they may have something to share with those in need, just like the robots reference that I had. He said, see a need, feel a need. Okay, so see a need, feel a need. And that's the best way for you to understand what it is that you can do to serve others. If you see a need, feel a need. Okay, so think about what people around you need, and if you have a skill that can bring healing, okay? Motivational speaking, it could just be anything. If you know how to make clothes and you see that people don't have new outfits, you could just do something for charity, and just have, like, once a year, just make people clothes who can't afford to look like their luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine someone being homeless, but you make them, like, it don't have to be a real mink coat, but something that looks like that fox fur. You know what I'm saying? Makes them feel like they're living in a life of luxury. Okay, a high profile life. Do something like that. Okay, or make someone a song with their name in it to make them feel special, or you know what I'm saying, to lift people's spirits. If someone can't feed themselves, like, you could work with elderly people. I love working in hospice, singing for people, and making them feel comfortable as they transition to their afterlife, their life after life. And so things like that are just some examples that I can come up with top of my head, you guys. But you understand, see a need, feel a need. So look for something that people need and develop a business idea around it that, that costs less to nothing, something that comes natural to you. But what's next? A video on Christian dating, actions over words. So I'm gonna do a video on Christian dating in regards to actions over words, because they can say this, like, this is what you're doing, this is what I want you to do. Okay. Heady up and bye. Okay. And that's all, folks. I hope that you have gained a little more faith in the receiving of this message, because God said you only need the faith of a mustard seed, as it says in Matthew 17:20. So if you have made it to the end of this video, the holy mystery treat. If you are interested in entering in a free giveaway, all you have to do is guess the color. Okay, I am thinking of a color, and all you have to do is email me what color you think that I might be thinking of, and the submissions in October 17th, and I will be emailing the winners October 18th, and I wish you all the luck of Christ. Until next time, through Christ we unite. Stay aligned with divine minds. And y'all, you know what? Before I go, you have been verified.